Uber drivers know what they want from Uber? Or do they? Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and this is going to be kind of like a little rambling editorial public questioning video. See, when I was in Las Vegas, I actually met up with one of my viewers whose name was Payman. And in fact, he was very generous enough one night when the big Uber app shortage was going on, we had dinners, reservations for Rayo's, a really fancy, high-class restaurant. I definitely recommend it if you're ever in Vegas, Hollywood. I hear the New York location's very difficult to get into, but oh, the meatballs and the chicken, oh my gosh, so good. Well, anyway, when the Uber app outage was going on, he was actually nice enough to give us a ride and even decorated the car to celebrate the recent engagement. And so that was a very wonderful thing. And thank you for that. And I got to talk to him a couple times. And he said that he wanted to talk to me for a lot of reasons. But one of the things he wanted me to ask on my channel is, what do Uber drivers want? Which at first I was kind of like, what do you mean? I mean, I thought that was kind of a dumb question. Like, what do you mean? They want to be paid better. They want to be treated with respect. I mean, that seems pretty obvious. And he's like, no. What do Uber drivers really want? And the more I talked with him, the more I realized what it was he was trying to say. Because here's the thing. There are some basic things that, yes, all Uber drivers want. We do want the rates to go up. I don't think anyone's going to realistically say they don't want the rates to go up. Or do they? Because here's the thing. Some people even debate that. Like, I know your personal driver, he's like, he has told me and said in one of my videos, he would rather have a higher mile drive, like paid more per mile and per minute, and have no surge. On the other hand, some people are like, you know what, I would rather have a decent but not too low rate, but I would rather have surge because that's what gets me out at 2 a.m. Clearly, drivers disagree. What about the earnings themselves? Some people say, I want to make a minimum wage. I would be perfectly comfortable making a minimum wage at Uber. Other people are like, I don't want a minimum wage because I could potentially make more with what I do. What about representation? Some people say, yes, I would love if Uber were unionized. Other people say, no, I don't want Uber unionized. Some people want representation for Uber. Like they want some speakers for Uber drivers to sign off on things. But then who elects the people to speak for the drivers? And what gets read? And geez, even if there's a majority of people who decide to sign off on a certain thing, there's still going to be some drivers who aren't happy about it. Or what about when you're not driving? Some people believe, you know what? I should be, if I'm driving or not, if the app is on, I should get paid. Other people say, no, I don't want to get paid if the app is on and I'm not driving because then I have to pick Uber's, schedule. And then there's a big thing. This is a big one, by the way. Do you want to have a set schedule for Uber, or do you want to just get on and off whenever you want? And for that matter, how important is driving whenever you want? Like, what is it to you? Some people say, well, I will take picking my own schedule as long as I have this. And then there's some people who's like, I don't care what Uber takes away, as long as they do not take away my ability to turn on and off the app when I see fit. What do Uber drivers want? It was actually a question I really hadn't thought about much until I talked to him and I realized, holy cow, this is actually kind of a heavy topic. And he even admitted, like, why do you think the drivers can never band together? Why do you think they can never protest in union? Because we don't know what we want. We don't know. Drivers are so divided on this issue. Heck, there are people even divided how much you should drive. I know Uber tubers, they say, hey, doesn't matter what they pay, you drive. And I say, no, don't drive just to drive. drive when they respect you and pay you what you're worth. And there's been some pretty heavy disagreements on that front. And this is a question that has just really been racking in my brain. Because it's like, yeah, if we don't know what we want, then, how would Uber even know? Now, granted, I'm not going to give Uber a lot of credit. I think Uber overlooks some very, very obvious things they could do to make the driver experience better. For example, I don't think anyone is going to complain if one day they say, hey, the rates have gone up by 25 cents. No one's going to complain. I mean, some people might complain that it's not as much as they would like it to go up, but no one's going to complain about making more money. Like, that's one of the few things that they can do. Also, I don't think anyone's going to complain like, hey, if they get a complaint against them, they have a chance to respond before they're deactivated. I think drivers are pretty much in union on that. But it seems like everything else, drivers are very sharply divided on. And I am curious what people think about the company, truly. And what do they really want? Even with the app. I mean, nobody wanted that app. Clearly, nobody asked for that app. But now we have the app. And there's a lot of people who have now gone like, you know what? Okay, it's nice. And other people who are still offended by the app because Uber spent money and resources into building that app rather than fixing the relationship with the drivers. I mean, one of the new people who's running MoviePass, and we'll see if this works, because I know MoviePass is definitely in very bad shape. He basically said, one of the things we're going to do in the new year, we're going to work on fixing our product. Because no amount of marketing or press releases will fix a bad product. That gives me a lot of hope for that service if they can pull it off. I hope Uber would also approach that, but they're a little different. Their app has been technically very sound for the most part. The whole redesign for the app, we didn't need it. The old app worked fine. The product that is broken is their relationship with the drivers. At the same time, though, drivers cannot agree on where they want the company to go. Aside from the fact that they want a little bit more money, which everyone agrees with, no one knows what to give up or what to take in. Again, I use the surge as an example. What Uber's doing with the surge is fairly criminal, in my opinion. I think that's a lousy thing for them to do, to just give us a flat surge and then keep the vast bulk of it. But some people think, you know what? If they want to charge surge, I will gladly not accept surge as long as I have a livable rate on the miles and minutes. And some people actually don't mind driving for very little money because all they do is drive the surge. And the surge is where they make their money. So here's what I'm going to be doing. YouTube has a community tab, and I've used it once or twice, not often. I think I did a poll to see what people would like me to talk about other than Uber, and a lot of people selected cargo, and I ultimately didn't make anything because I don't have a whole lot to say about cargo. It's pretty simple, guys. Cargo is you put the snack thing there, people buy it with a credit card, you get a commission. It's not that difficult. It's not even that complicated. So, I didn't have a whole lot to say about that. But here's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start putting polls in the community. Now, you can start, of course, commenting about what you would like from Uber and all this stuff. That's fine, but this is not where the research is going to start. I'm going to start making polls, asking questions about Uber's service, asking questions about features that they maybe could be making, asking, would you prefer this or would you prefer that? And share the polls if you can. I would really like to know what the vast majority of drivers, as many drivers as we can, gather around what they actually think of Uber, what they actually want from the service. And then we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them because, I've been doing the news commentary for a while, and I think I'm okay at it. And I'm not going to stop, obviously, but I think I have enough subscribers, enough viewers, and at least I'm a little infamous in this community that it's like, you know what? I would like to really get to the root of what the drivers want. What do they want from Uber? What do they want from the service? What do they want from this app? What improvements do the vast majority of people agree on? Which ones are the ones they don't agree with? I'm going to try to get as many of those answers as possible with these polls. I need your help, and they're going to start next week after Christmas. After Christmas. During the holidays, I don't want these to get lost in the shuffle. So, while I'm wearing my Santa hat, of course. So that's what I'm going to do. It was a good question, and I think it deserves an answer. And then it might even lead to some podcast discussions. You never know. But I think we need to start talking to each other, which is something we have not been doing very often. I mean, I know a lot of you listen to me, but I even read the comments, and we're not talking to each other in the comments. So let's start taking polls. Let's start getting data together. Let's start examining it, and let's start looking at the bigger picture, what people want. Now, what are we going to do with it afterwards? I don't know, to be honest. But we need to at least understand ourselves before we can, so to speak, tackle the problem or address what we want from this company and what we want from Uber. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Polls aren't up yet, but again, first, the day or two after Christmas, we're going to start doing them. In the meantime, what do you think? Have you ever thought about this question, and what are your opinions? I would love to know. So comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even those $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.